Welcome back. You're live at lunchtime. The ANC's top brass is meeting at Luthuli House here in Johannesburg today, among other things discussing the eThekwini Mayor Zandile Gumede. Here's the background. She recently withdrew her resignation as mayor of the city, putting her in deep conflict with the party. Gumede, currently out on bail, facing fraud and corruption charges. The top six also meeting with the finance minister, Tito Mboweni, we're told today, over that controversial economic recovery plan. Let me take you live now to Johannesburg. Political reporter Zandile Gumede is standing by. Sam, good afternoon to you. I understand with two senior ANC KwaZulu-Natal officials. Let me hand it over to you.
Yes, indeed, Jeremy. We are with Sipho Hlomuga, the Deputy Provincial Secretary, and Mdumiseni Ntuli, the Provincial Secretary of KwaZulu-Natal. I'm just going to throw the question straight to them, Mr. Ntuli and Mr. Hlomuga. You've met now with the ANC's top six. What is the outcome of this particular meeting we had with the top brass leadership of the ANC?
Well, that's correct. We just had a very productive engagement with the national leadership of our movement to respond and reflect to a number of issues and developments taking place in our province. I'm quite certain that the leadership has remained behind to reflect on the submissions we've made, and then we will all be guided on the way forward when the leadership concludes its own meeting.
So this meeting has now been overtaken, and those powers of replacing Zandile Gumede have been taken from the PEC, and the final decision now rests with the ANC's top six or NWC?
No. Powers have not been taken from the PEC. The PEC came here to present on the work that it has done as a provincial executive committee, which is consistent with the culture and the tradition of the movement, that whenever we're doing something, we must always touch base with our national leadership to keep them informed, to keep them aware and alerted to the situation we're dealing with. And then they would, as you will do in any event, that when there is a presentation, you remain behind, you reflect on the presentation, and then you go out and articulate the way forward.
When will you be getting feedback from the ANC's top brass?
Very soon. I mean, when they conclude their business today, I'm certain that tomorrow the leadership will come back to us and say, this is how practically we believe you must go forward in dealing with the issues we reported to us.
Just to get for our viewers to get clarity and for your own members, this issue is now raised with the top six. Will the top six be taking the issue to the National Working Committee of the African National Congress, or it's just sitting with the top six at this point?
The issue doesn't necessarily mean from here the leadership is going to be going to the NWC and the NEC. It will go to those structures for purposes of reporting. But the top leadership of the ANC has a mandate on behalf of the Working Committee and the ANC to make certain decisions, and I think this is one of the instances where they will make a decision in terms of how to navigate the complex environment in KwaZulu-Natal and help the ANC to move forward.
At this point in time, is the council meeting in eThekwini Municipality Metro going to take place this week to elect a new mayor, which would be Mxolisi Kaunda?
The council meeting is scheduled to take place on Thursday, and as we all expected, it has an agenda that was set following the resignation of Comrade who resigned. So the council meeting is going ahead on Thursday, and we believe that the national leadership will guide us on how best to navigate our way from now up until the council meeting and beyond.
What then happens to Zandile Gumede's retraction of her resignation in the Metro as the mayor?
Well, the retraction has been a submission made by Comrade Zandile, but it has not been a matter that as a province we've had to deal with. We received the resignation, we accepted the resignation, and then subsequently there was a public communication of a retraction, which had nothing to do with the Provincial Executive Committee.
Our last question to you, Mr. Ntuli, we are really out of time. Will Zandile Gumede be returning as the mayor of eThekwini, or is she going and will be retracting that withdrawal of the resignation?
The national leadership will emerge out of this meeting and make a concrete announcement about how we have discussed the matters and how in their own wisdom we should be moving ahead.
Thank you very much, Mr. Ntuli. That was the Provincial Secretary of KwaZulu-Natal, Mdumiseni Ntuli, saying that the KwaZulu-Natal leadership will hear from the ANC's top brass within the next 24 hours on what they concluded on in the meeting they are having now after their input to this particular top six meeting.
Sam, just give me a quick one. I also referenced the fact that the party is going to meet with the finance minister to discuss this controversial economic recovery plan. Has there been any further development on that this lunchtime?
At this point in time, Jeremy, we did see the Minister of Finance, Tito Mboweni, going into this particular meeting to meet with the ANC's top brass leadership. I'm tempted to ask him, Dumiseni, how they feel about that particular input, but he doesn't want to engage that particular debate, Jeremy. But the Minister of Finance is here.
All right, not going anywhere near that question. Zandile Gumede for the moment. Thank you.